In this video tutorial, we're going to go over how to smooth shade objects and how to texture them, and also a couple other things just that might make your life a little bit easier. So I'm going to first, what we're going to do is we're going to create like an Earth type looking planet. Shift A, add a mesh. I'm going to do an isosphere. It looks a little kind of too angular for me, so I'm going to add a couple subdivisions. Basically over here, when you add an object, there are some options you can add in. That these are only visible when the object is first being made. So I'm going to make it 4, and now our object is created. And now what I want to do is I want to go into this object. Well, first let me just give this a render. Okay, so that's going to be our Earth object. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I hit S to scale it up a little bit. Okay, that looks nice. And one quick thing, I always just like to change this resolution just to make it a little bit smaller. One quick thing is, notice how in this background it's kind of a default gray look. It's not very interesting looking. If you want to change the background color of your animations, just go over to this World tab, go down and select your horizon color. You can change it to whatever you want. I'm going to make it a dark black because we're going to have a space look to it. So there we have a dark black background. This is going to be a planet. Planets are generally smooth, so we want to smooth shade this object. So I am going to select the object. I'm in object mode right now. I'm going to hit Tab, go into edit mode, and hit W to bring up the specials menu. Hit smooth shade. Now make sure that before you hit smooth shade, make sure that all the vertices are selected. You can toggle between everything selected or not selected with the A button. So everything's selected. Now I can hit W to bring up the specials menu and hit smooth shade. Now I can hit Tab again. Now I'm back in object mode. Hit F12 or render it however you want, and now we have a nice smooth shaded object. So now let's work in the materials property of this Earth object, and I'm going to go over here to the materials tab, new material. It doesn't really matter what color I'm going to have this, because the color is going to actually be completely determined by the texture image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn first down the intensity a bit of the specular highlight. Generally, planets don't really have a bright specular highlight, so I got rid of that and hit F12 again. Okay, that looks nice. Now what we're going to do is we want to add a texture to this. So go to the Textures tab, New Texture. A lot of different texture options. We're going to be using an image, so I can go down to Image and scroll down. I'm going to open up my texture. I just found an Earth image online. Pretty simple. Here it is right there. There's no real reason to have huge images, actually. So if you're going to get something online, you might want to scale it down quite a bit because there's no reason to have a 3 megabyte image. It actually will not help the quality of your overall animation because, in a sense, unless you zoom very close to it. So I took this Earth image online and scaled it down a bit. So let's give it a quick render. And it really doesn't look like it's projecting correctly. Of course, it's not projecting correctly because I'm using flat projection, which is the default. I have a spherical object, so I change it to sphere, re-render it, and now we have a nice kind of looking Earth texture on that. One thing I want to do just for this, just to kind of make this look a little bit better, I select the light, and I'm going to turn up the energy just a bit more, just so it's a bit brighter. There we go. So now we have a nice black background, smoothly shaded sphere, and a nice Earth spherical projection texture on that.